This video will give you an introduction of the lesson that will be tackled this week. The lesson is about parabola, its definition, and its parts. Also, you will learn some of the real-life applications of a parabola. And here is the learning outline of our lesson. 1 is the definition of a parabola. 2, the derivation of standard equation of a parabola, and I will going to give you a separate video on how to derive equation of a parabola. Third is the graphing of parabolas, and the last one is solving situational problems involving parabolas. One of the many applications of a parabola is an architectural design of structures. It says that the parabolic curve represents an efficient method of load. That's why engineers use this in designing structures, like the suspension bridge on our illustration. One example of this is the Golden Gate Bridge that connects San Francisco City with Marin County in the United States. How do we define a parabola? Parabola is a set of all points in a plane equidistant from a fixed point and a fixed line. So, when we say set of all points, it is the trajectory or path of the locus of points in an xy plane. So, meron tayo dito ang tinatawag na fixed point and a fixed line. Now, to better understand the definition of parabola, I have here a GIF or graphics interchange format showing the definition of this conic section. Okay. Yung fixed point is called the focus, and the fixed line is called the directrix. So, if we're going to measure any point on the curve of the parabola, from focus and from the directrix, it is always equidistant. So, if we have here distance d1 from focus to point P, and another point D2 from point P to directrix, V1 equals D2 according to the definition of a parabola. So therefore, from focus to this point is also equal or equidistant from this point to directrix. Okay? So any point, kahit from here up to this point, and then from this point to the directrix is also equidistant. Okay? Alin yung vertex of the parabola? The vertex of the parabola is the midpoint of the perpendicular segment from the focus to the directrix. Ibig sabihin, yung gitna of this segment connecting focus and directrix is called the vertex. So ito yung ating vertex. Okay? And we have the axis of symmetry. It is the line that passes through the vertex and focus. So, any line that passes through the focus and vertex of the parabola is called the axis of symmetry. It so happens lang from this illustration that the axis of symmetry coincides with the x-axis of our Cartesian coordinate system. Kasi yung ating vertex is located at the origin of the xy plane. Now, there are cases na kapag ang vertex of the parabola is not located at the origin of the xy plane, it can be the axis of symmetry is just parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis depending kung saan naka-opens yung ating parabola. And later on, I will going to discuss all of this. Now, what the point here is axis of symmetry will pass through the vertex and focus of the parabola. Okay? And as you can see, the axis of symmetry divides the parabola into two equal parts. We have here the upper part, we have the lower part. Okay? We have the latus rectum. It is the line segment through the focus perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. Latus rectum, ang ginagamit nating notation is LR, capital letter L and R. And the length of the latus rectum is 4C. Now, for simplicity, we have here all of the parts of the parabola into types of parabola. We have a parabola opens to the right and a parabola opens upward. So here are the parts. We have the focus, the vertex, the directrix. This is the latus rectum. Okay, dadaan siya sa focus, and this latus rectum is perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. Okay, and the length of latus rectum is 4C based from the previous definition. And as you can see, the axis of symmetry here is parallel to x-axis and perpendicular to the directrix. And the focus, or the latus rectum I mean, is parallel to our directrix. Okay? That is when the parabola opens to the right. On our second illustration, the parabola opens upward. The axis of symmetry is parallel to y-axis. It has the same definition. You divides the parabola into two equal parts, and it passes also the focus and the vertex of the parabola. Pero siya ay parallel ngayon sa y-axis. At yung ating latus rectum is now parallel to x-axis and directrix. So, depende kung saan opens yung ating parabola. So, we have letter V, notation used for the vertex of the parabola, para mas madali nating maintindihan at ma-represent yung mga parts of the parabola. We're going to follow these notations. V for the vertex, F or capital letter F for the focus, point P, any point along the parabola, has an ordered pair of x, y. D for the directrix of the parabola. E sub 1, E sub 2, endpoints of the latus rectum. Siya yung gagamitin nating notation for the endpoints ng ating LR or latus rectum. And the last one is C. Ito yung distance from vertex to focus. Okay? Tingnan din natin yung mga yan. Okay? F, focus. V, vertex. D, directrix. E sub 1 and E sub 2. Ano yon? Endpoints. Tigkabilang dulo ng ating latus rectum. Okay? Ano yung C? Siya yung distance from vertex to focus. Sino pa siya? Distance nung directrix to vertex. So, total, C plus C, that will be 2C, distance of focus to directrix. So, siya ay 2C. Okay? Okay, ano pa yung 2C? Yung one of the ends of the latus rectum to focus, ang haba 2C rin. Okay, 2 times C. And then, yung endpoints length of the latus rectum from E1 to E sub 2 is equivalent to 4 times C or 4C. At yun yung haba ng ating latus rectum. Okay. So, yun yung mga parts and definition of a parabola. The next video that I'll give you is about the derivation of the equations of parabola. So, thank you.